Why is it that sports and mental health, why were they taboo, do you think?
Great question. I think it's just because, it's the old school mentality of, the old coaching era of rub some dirt on it and get tougher. And that's how we all kind of grew up. But even if I think back, it's like, Jeff, get tougher, or Jeff, move on to the next play, or Jeff, forget about it. But if I look back, I'm like, well, how do I do that? And so that's really, if I think really break it down, especially if you're thinking about 13 to 20-year-olds, we have all these voices and all these distractions in our head, but how do we really almost decompartmentalize that into making the best decision in that one opportunity in that present moment?
How do you do that, though, with a 40 or 50, 60-year-old that grew up in a different era? Because you are talking to CEOs, you are talking to business leaders, but you're also talking to that high school kid. You're also trying to get through to the mom who may be the single mom who's completely overwhelmed, or whatever it may be the situation. It's a wide swath out there in this day and age, Jeff, when it comes to sports and mental health.
Mm-hmm. You have to, I think it's the first step is always awareness. You can't change something you're not aware of. Right. What I tell everybody is we all have dark spots. It's almost like most of us, all of us live through life kind of looking through a straw. But if we never have that awareness to understand how to open up that portal and understand, like, hey, do you understand how individuals feel? Do you understand how to earn and build trust? Do we really know what leadership is? Do we know how to really stay grounded and control our emotions, not let our emotions control us? And the more that we talk about these things and have conversations, that little straw portal starts to grow, and we understand ourselves at a deeper rate.
You go through a couple of the titles you have in your Champions Life podcast. The number one way to generate confidence. This is one that everybody should be leaning into a little bit.
I think everyone thinks, especially in the athletic world, people think confidence comes from results, trophies, their stats per game, who's recruiting them. But if you think about it, and I hear it almost on a daily basis, is, well, I missed 3 shots in a row, so I don't have any confidence. I'm like, okay, well, if it's an external thing, but if we watch Steph Curry and he misses 3 shots in a row, does he lose confidence? They're like, no. So what we have to understand is research shows that the number one source of your confidence comes from your self-talk, which is an internal and intrinsic decision. And what I love to say about self-talk, let's break that down, is that there's always a dialogue being written inside of your head. And you have a pen, and you're the only person that can create the story. What story are you writing? And most individuals, actually research shows, 70 to 80% of your thoughts are negative. So what the most successful individuals understand is how to rewrite that story, change that story in their mind. So again, let's go back. It's not that our emotions control us. We can control our emotions.
How do you develop a winning mindset, Jeff? That's a pretty big topic. I mean, how do you do that?
I think here's the thing about culture. And culture is a very big buzzword, but culture isn't just in sports. Culture isn't just in business. And it's not just a motivational sign in a locker room or a slogan when you walk into a restaurant. Culture happens with any unit. Me and my wife and my family have a culture. But what most individuals don't understand is that most individuals just allow the culture just to be there. What the best of the best do is they create the culture. They have systems, they have strategies, they're intentional, they're consistent, they're disciplined. But mostly, let's go back, most individuals are lazy, comfortable, and emotional. And so if we just allow a culture to be there and just fester, the negative, the bad, the cancerous, the contagious of the negativity will grow and fester, compared to if we create the culture we want. And here's the 3 P's about culture. You have to practice it. What do you practice, promote, and permit? I think that's what we have to do, is continue to be intentional and consistent about how do we create the culture we want.
Starting the conversation this week with Jeff Becker, go to coachjeffbecker.com, sports and mental performance. Jeff, thanks.
Thank you, my man. Always good seeing you, my man. Thank you so much.